Updated June 18, 2018, 17 hours 36 minutes and 34 seconds. Gallant, adjective, of a person or their behaviour, brave, heroic. Synonyms: brave, courageous, valiant, valorous, bold, plucky, daring, fearless, intrepid, heroic, lionhearted, stout-hearted, doughty, mettlesome, great-spirited. If you heard it once during Australia's weekend of nice efforts, good tries, and, against the odds bravery, you heard it 3 times. What a gallant effort by the Socceroos to only lose 2-1 to mighty France. Such a wonderful performance that some still believe Australia was robbed by the video assistant referee, VAR, who scandalously reached the right conclusion and awarded France a penalty. Bravo to those gallant Wallabies after an honourable 26-21 loss to the world number 2 ranked Ireland. Following last week's unexpected victory, this was not only a jolly good effort, it might spare Rugby Australia Chief Executive Raylene Castle another trip to the headmaster's office for a dressing down by Alan Jones. Australia lost the second one-day international to England. But what a everyone join in, gallant effort by this callow injury, suspension depleted team to get within 38 runs of the home team's mammoth total of 8 to 342, now fetch me a bucket. Because, as the Western Bulldogs coach Terry Wallace famously told his gallant team on the 1996 Fly on the Wall documentary Year of the Dogs, I don't know about you guys, but if I see one bloke walk out of here, the sheds, getting a pat on the back from people there for a good effort, I'll spew up. This is not to belittle the very you-know-what efforts of the 3 Australian teams who were all actually or statistically facing more highly rated teams, in the case of the Socceroos, overwhelming so. Rather, it is to cringe at the notion of those brave defeats that torture the committed fan far more than the abject thrashing, because it leaves open the door to anguished second-guessing and imagining about what might have been. Socceroos fans woke on Sunday morning after a restless night, their sleep disrupted by dark thoughts about the referee's decision to ignore his instincts and allow VAR to award France that crucial penalty. Toss. Was it a penalty? Turn. Would the Socceroos have got a point if it hadn't been awarded? Toss. A narrow loss against the best team in the group keeps Australia well in contention. Turn. But a point would have been so much better. Inevitably, the consequences of the Socceroos' gallantry against France will not be known until the next game against Denmark on Thursday night. Does an obstinate display against the talented French translate into a potentially more productive effort against the, notionally, less imposing Danes? Or were the Socceroos flattered by a typically hesitant opening performance by the serially slow starting French, as many international pundits believe? If so, the Socceroos' well-organised defensive efforts might have flattered to deceive. Either way, unlike the disastrous 4-0 defeat by Germany in 2010 and even the entertaining 3-1 loss to Chile in 2014, the Socceroos have kept their hopes alive. As Santo Kiloro observed on the ABC's Offsiders, goal difference is our friend. The Wallabies should not be friendless after losing to Ireland in Melbourne. Conceding 26 unanswered points between the 7th and 77th minute does not meet the customary definition of gallantry, but there was some consoling righteous indignation from the behind-the-play incident that left half-back Algenia with a broken arm. Wallabies coach Michael Cheika called it a king hit. While Cheika can't influence the citing commissioner's finding, he can try to correct the poor tactical kicking and ill-disciplined penalties that gifted Ireland territory points in inevitably the contest. Still, resetting the Wallabies to gallantry mode, taking the series to what should be a packed Sydney football stadium on Saturday locked at 1-1 is a good result for a game that desperately needs big occasions to inspire broader interest. Significantly, Wallabies fullback Israel Folau has neither literally or figuratively risen to the occasion in this series, unusual for a player not often suppressed for long. A big effort from Folau in Sydney would go a long way to giving the Australians a profile-boosting win. Meanwhile in Cardiff, the gallantry of Australia's ODI loss to England was partly a result of the efforts of those who played, and almost as much a result of the names missing from the team sheet. It is impossible to imagine that Australia's 2019 World Cup attack will include all, or even many, of G. Richardson, Kane Richardson, Ashton Agar, Marcus Stoinis, Andrew Tye and Darcy Short. So England batsmen Jason Roy, 120, and Jos Buttler, 91, did well to fill their boots while they could. Similarly, the Australian batting lineup that did reasonably well to compile 304 in pursuit of 342 might be bolstered by the return of Stephen Smith and he who cannot be named. It is hard not to mention David Warner when he is a member of the Nine studio team, so consider this series an audition for vacancies, not an equitable battle against a number 1 ranked England team that is looking to stamp its authority on home soil a year before hosting the World Cup. All in all then, Australians could be proud of their gallant losing teams. Now someone get me that bucket. Topics: Socceroos, Soccer World Cup, Soccer, Sport, Rugby Union, Russian Federation. Australia first posted June 18, 2018, 5 hours 11 minutes and 25 seconds.